Hi, this is Dana with Designs by Na. And today I want to work with you with this beautiful, beautiful hairpin lace pattern. And I'm going to get you started. If you don't have one of these already, this is the loom. And it comes in 4 pieces. 1, 2, and 2 arms. And a hook comes with it, and I actually used my 40% off coupon when I went to Joann Fabrics. I think it was $5.49 or 99, but when I got through I only paid $2.75. So it was truly worth the investment. And very simple technique, and you can also change the guides to make it smaller. So I think you're going to be very, very pleased with this. And this is one panel with motifs on them. And there's 120 stitches or loops. And you're going to need to make 8 of them. However, I'm going to be making 10 or 12 because I want to make it longer to my calf size and put some decorative ruffles or something on the bottom of it. But I'm just going to get you started with making 8 of them and showing you how to connect them together. So let's get going. I'm going to reposition the camera and then we'll go from there. Alright, here we go. So here's the loom. And first thing I'm going to do is get my yarn. I'm going to make a slip knot that I can adjust to make it bigger so that it'll fit over top of my loom. And bring it down and adjust it and try to get it in the middle. Now I saw 2 or 3 different ways to do this. This is the one that I liked. So what I did was just tightened it, get it in the middle, and I took my short tail and just wrapped it around and made a knot. And then what I do is normally just filter that into my work as I'm working, and you'll see as we go along. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is flip it on what I call the right side, and the reason why I'm calling this my right side is because I'm going to show you later on, but I put some little fingernail polish right there so I would be able to know which side I started on, because it takes 2 passes, turns over before you complete 1 row. This is my marker that I'm going to be using. After I get so far, I'll count and put the marker there. And then I always keep a piece of paper sitting down with my work, and I write down those numbers so that till I get to 120. So that's what that paper will be for, and my marker. Alright, so here we go. Now you can play around with this and come up with whatever's going to be comfortable for you. I'm going to start by I got it started here, so I'm going to flip my work, and I'm going to pick up the front half of this loop, and I'm going to grab my tail, my running yarn there, and bring it up underneath, and I'm going to finish it off with a single crochet. But in the process, I'm going to filter that tail in. And so I just did my first single crochet. Alright, now this is what I do when I flip my work. I turn it and I take the base of my hook and I put it in that front loop, bring it down, yarn over, pull that up underneath, keeping it taut, getting that tail. These first 5 or 6 are going to take me a minute to get rid of this tail. And this is actually only the 5th time I've done this, because I've made 5 panels already before I started doing the video. Alright, so here we go again. Some people take it and put it in the back. I'm just going to show you one way, and then you can play with it as you do it. Okay, I turn my work, and when I turn my work, I take the behind of the hook and I pass it through that front loop. I hook the yarn under and I do a single crochet. But because I'm in the first stages, I'm going to get rid of that tail in that. And of course there's other ways to get rid of the tail. You can take a large hook, a needle, and just run it through up there if that's something you like to do. It's easier for you to use. This is just what I do. Alright, so that one's completed. So I'm going to put that from behind, turn it around, pass it under, and do a single crochet. And I'm still getting rid of my tail. I just like my work to look really clean. I'm actually using an eye hook. This is the hook that came with the loom. And I'm going to turn my work again. So I just put my hook in the back and I turn it, I flip it. Then I take that front one on my left, go up underneath it, yarn over, still getting rid of my tail, and do a single. Alright, and then I just filter that back and forth, back and forth. Alright, so it's a little, feels a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little awkward when you first get started, but you'll get a rhythm. So I'm going up underneath there, hooking the yarn, and I think this is going to be the last one I do of my tail. Single. Alright, holding on to my yarn, just going to turn my work, take the behind of the hook, run it through the front, hook it, make a single crochet. Alright, I'm going to keep going. Alright, turn my work, bring my hook in the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, single crochet. And I always tighten each one. You want to keep it a little taut. And guess what? I'm going to need 120 loops. Okay? And they will fit on here. Okay? So you just turn the work. You can use a smaller hook if you like. I'm just using this hook because this is what came with it, but I would prefer to use a smaller hook. But because I started with this, the next time I will gravitate towards a smaller hook. Gives a lot of definition. So as you get going and get your little rhythm going, it's kind of nice. You can watch TV, keep your yarn in front of you. I have my yarn down in a bucket. Well, not in a bucket, it's one of those cloth drawers. And getting ready to flip. And sometimes, say the phone rings and you have to put it down and you want to know where you're at when you come back to pick it up. Well, your running yarn is always going to be in the back. And you either have worked that front one or you haven't. So if I had put this down and came back up, I would look at it and know that this row is complete because here's my little thing that tells me I'm at the front. So I'm completed that row. I'm going to flip it, run my hook up underneath there. There you go. Alright, so now what you're going to need to do, everybody holds their hands different. You just want to keep it pretty taut. I have seen people, before they turn it, put the hook in the back and then turn so that it's already there. And then take the hook and go up underneath this one and grab it. I've seen that. Actually, I haven't seen it. I did it myself. But I didn't really like that way for some reason. I came down, hooked my thumb up underneath there, grabbed it, and pulled it. Felt like it was a couple of extra steps for me by taking this, getting it back there, then turning it, then coming down and finding that front loop. So I felt like that was a few more steps than I wanted to take. You can do that if you like, but my preferred way is I just hold it, everything into place. I flip it. I bring this right up into that front one. I hook the yarn up underneath, yarn over, and finish out the single crochet. Alright, nice little pattern. I could see this in variegated yarns. I can see this in a really nice wool, different fibers. So this could, I see this in string using some really beautiful thread. And so I'm going to go ahead and come back when I'm got quite a few things on my loom. So good luck. What I wanted to show you right here, let me cut the TV off, is I want to show you how to count. Now right now what I've done is I've counted and I've placed a small marker right here. And also what I've done is in the process of putting it down and running to go do something, come back, I just took my running yarn and just hooked it up on top. And then if you can see real closely, I took here some fingernail polish and I just painted just a little bit of paint on there just so that I know that this is the side I started on. So when I count, that this side will have the same number on this side when I stop. Alright, and then the best way to count is just to pull it apart and start your count. No fancy way, you know, I just go by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and so on. And then I place the marker. And you can put the marker on this side or this side as long as you're on your beginning side, as I marked it right here. And then, so I thought that was worthy of giving you some information. So on this particular top that we're working on, design that we're working on, we're putting 120 of these on. And I think they look really, really nice. And then if you look at the top here, you can see that there's holes. And you could make them smaller. I've chosen the outer part. And then on my next one, I'll do a larger one. A smaller one, I'm sorry. So, alright, let's continue. Okay, now I'm down to my last couple of rows. So I want to finish those out and show you how I'm I'm going to try something different here. See if this is going to work. I'm going to see if I can do it on the hook. Actually, on the loom. Now, right now I'm just doing my last couple of bypasses. And you may have found a different way to do your hook. This is just what is working for me. I've looked at several videos. A lot of them were in Spanish. Okay, so I know to stop here and count to see if I'm at my 120, because here's my little fingernail polish. And then this is my little note. I keep a little piece of paper here when I'm counting, and I write down where my last marker was at. My last marker on my paper was at 102. So I use my running yarn and put it right up there at the top. And then I count my stitches here. So that was at 102, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. So now I'm at 20. That's 120. And I want to pop off my piece. And then I want to chain 1 to tighten it. And actually, I'm going to try to do everything on here instead of cut, stop, and move on. I'm going to chain 8 right while I'm on here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is trial and error. And actually, this is too big because what I did with my other ones, I went to a smaller hook. This was an eye, and this eye came with my kit. So I went on and used it to start out because this is my first time working this. So I'm going to go back to a smaller hook, and I chose to go to a G hook to start my design. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, now because I'm going to just close off this one. Alright, did you see that? I just closed off that side because I'm not going to work on that side. And I'm going to pick up my first 2 stitches, my first 2 loops off of the hook. This is trial and error for me. I'm going to see if that works, and I finish it off with a single crochet. Let me go back and do that again. Bring it through, finish it off with a single crochet. Alright, and then I'm going to chain 8. And then I'm going to take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm also going to show you another way to do it. Following this one. And work with the pattern I'm going to do. There's always going to be 8 in between. I'm going to pick up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for me, it's better to pick up from the base of that loop. I keep forgetting that I want to do a single crochet over top of these. I like the single crochet better than just pulling it all the way through. So I pull it through the loops, and then there's my phone ringing, so I have to go back to work. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Right quick, do me a favor stop right there and write that down. This is the pattern for the first side. 2 and then 4 sets 2 times. Then I'm going to do 20. Then I'm going to do 4 sets 5 times. I'm going to do 20. I'm going to do 4 sets 5 times. Then I'm going to do 20. Then I'm going to do 4 sets 2 times. And then I'm going to do 2. So I'm going to finish the way I started. And the little startations just mean 8 chains in between each of those sets. Okay? Real easy to pick up on. So I've already done the first 2. I chained 8, did the first 2 with a single, chained 8, pulled 4 together, single, chained 8, pulled 4 more loops together, single, chained 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm actually using a smaller hook for this, and I'm not knowing if I like it on here or not. I tied my bottom up right now just to hold it into place. We'll see what happens, and I'll also show you the other way. And you can pick which one you like the best. Alright, so now I've done the 2 and the 2 sets of 4, and now I'm getting ready to do 20. And I'm going to pull off 20 off of here. And I'm going to lay my running yarn over there out the way, using this finger to hold on to it. Going to be quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, there's one right there. I missed putting it back on. 6, 7, 8. Good to work from the bottom. 9, 10. Let me count, make sure I got 10. 1, 2, 3. I start twisting here. That's my first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I got 10. Put my finger there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now that I got 20, get my running yarn. I'm going to pull it through all the loops, nice and easy. Then I'm going to make a single crochet, okay? And then in between that, I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so the next thing I want to do, look at my paper. After 20, I want to do 4 sets 5 times. Okay, and in between each one, I'm going to put a star, which is chain 8. So I've got my chain 8. I'm going to pull off 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull up a loop and make a single. Chain 8. And pull off 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through all the loops, make a single. 8 more. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 8. And always looking back at your work, okay? Make sure you got your chains in between. So after my 20, I have 3 sets of 4 right now. I need 2 more. And then I'm going to go all the way through to the end. When I get to the end, I'm going to turn. And I'm going to come back. When I get to the end, I'm going to stop and turn. And I'll come back and show you that. Alright? Follow your pattern. Alright, we're back. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm at the end, getting ready to turn. So instead of doing the same thing and wasting too much time on the tape, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to show you how I do the other side by taking the bar out. Alright, so I'm at this end, so I'm going to flip my work, trying to keep it together, get my hook. Now this number are going to be a little different. The second side is going to be, I'm going to do 10, then I'm going to do 5 sets of 4, 20, 5 sets of 4, 20, 5 sets of 4, and then 10. So that's the second side. So it's just a little different from the first side. So you might want to stop tape, write this down. Alright, so when I got to the end, I went ahead and I chained up 8. Makes 8. And then the first thing I'm going to do is take 10. So 1, 2, 3, moving that yarn out the way, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Making sure I have 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright, I'm going to yarn over, pull it through, and then complete it with a single. That's going around that corner right there. Alright. And then the next one is going to be, I'm going to turn it all the way around to go back the other way. Alright, now I'm in the turn. Have everything in front of me. Now I'm going to do 5 sets of 4 with an 8 chain in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to pick up 4. Remember how I told you I do on the base? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you might like it this way better than keeping it on the bar. Chaining 8 in between. And then I'm going to pick up 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to continue in this manner. My yarn should be behind that. Alright, chaining 8 in between. Alright, then I'll see you at the end. When we get to the end, all the way to the end, that last one will be a 10, and you'll chain up 8, and then you're going to put that single crochet right there in the top of the base of the first chain 8, and we're going to tie it off, and I'll meet you back there. Alright, I'm at the end, and I've put a single right into that corner there, and I'm going to cut and pull up, tighten it, and we'll weave that. I'll weave that in. So now what I'm going to do is show you basically what you should have when you're done. You should have a wave, a beautiful wave, and you're going to need, you can either do 4 panels, you can do 5 panels. You can do 6 panels. I'd say 4 for at least to the waist, to the hip area. Once we sew it together and add our chain stitches in between. This is just 3. I have 4 already, 5 already, I think. And what's going to happen is, as you look at this right here is going to be your neckline. Probably hard to see. You might think it goes this way, but it's actually going this way. So this will be, let me flip it this way. This will be the curvature, the middle of the V in the neck. V in the neck. And then we'll put them together. And these will be put together by chain stitches. You know, we'll go around here and border, and then we'll do some chain stitches and hook them together. And then you can either make this a waist length to the thigh, to the knee, to the calf, or to the floor. So I thought this was a really delicate but pretty simple pattern, and you can probably go a lot of different ways with this. So I'm going to go ahead and work on finishing all my panels, and I'll come back when it's time to border them and attach them. And I'll probably do a video on just attaching 4. I may show you the video of the whole length, because I'm making this for an event I'm going to for an all-white party. And I'm going to be doing some ballroom dancing. So I think I want it to come just to the calf, and I may put some little ruffles on it, jewels, I'm not sure. But the purpose of the video was the tutorial, was to get you thinking. Alright, so I'll come back. Hi, I'm back, and I've put some pieces together now. Actually, I put 6 strips together for my overlay dress that I'm making. I'm going to show you that right quick. I'm just got it laid here on my hassock right now, but I've put 6 of them together. 1, then I put it together with diamond stitches. The second one, the third one, 4th, 5th, and the 6th one. Now I think down here I'm going to go back and put diamonds and ruffles to lengthen it for the outfit that I'm making. And so right now I want to show you what I have right here on the table. And I have 2 pieces, and I'm going to put them together. And I'm going to show you a couple of things while I'm putting them together. I want you to note that I'm always going to put a 2 and a 10 together. Alright? Meaning 10 here and 2 here. And when I put them together, I'm going to, actually I have these upside down, so let me change them out. Alright, that's the 10. And that's the 2. There we go. And actually I want it on the right side, so make sure you have your right and your wrong sides. There is a right and a wrong side. Alright. So that's what we're going to work on right now. And I'm working on my second piece. Alright. So let me position my video cam, and then we'll get going. So I'm going to turn it upside down and stick it in here. I don't feel like cutting and slicing, so bear with me here. Alrighty. actually want this one to be my first one, so if this one's going to be my first one, I have to start like this with a 10, 2 and a 10, so we have to go this way. There we go. I'm going to get it right here in a second. A 10 and a 2. And there's a couple things I want you to notice. Now I went back to my bigger hook, my larger hook, because if you remember, I did the smaller hooks all my chains. But because I'm a pretty large woman, I want to have more space in between each one of these so I don't have to do too many panels, so it'll cover my body. And you can go down to smaller hook to make your motif smaller off of your loom. And also, because each one of these motifs are 10 count, 20 count, the pattern is by 20. Like we did 120 we put on the loom, then you would put 100 on if you wanted smaller. Or you can put 140 on if you wanted go into your extra larges. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just take my yarn and on this side I'm going to, right before the first two, the second or third stitch, and you have to do it on all of them. Let's do it on the second. You're just going to go put your hook in there, pull up a loop. Now this is what I do. I have to chain 4, so I'm getting rid of my tail, most of my tail in that 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I still have a little tail left. Then I'm going to go over here, and where the 10 is at, I'm going to go into the second one before this 10 starts. And so I'm going to have to come in from the bottom, because if you come in from the top and you chain 4 and cross over, well, let me show you. I'll show you what it looks like. If you go on the top and you do a single, when you chain 4 or whatever you're going to chain, your chains can be different, you have to go back over. See there, that turns that over. But if you come in up under the bottom of it, and I had to learn that by trial and error. Remember I told you this is a trial and error. If I go up underneath it, and my yarn has to be over top. Go up underneath it, and I still want to get rid of my tail. Where's my little tail? There it is. I'm a stickler for tails. Try to get rid of them. So now when I chain 4, and I'm going to crisscross all the way down this strip. So, and I'm going to go in every chain 8 space on this side and every chain 8 space on that side. Now what I want to show you on here is I'm going to do the first 4 or 5 in the space, and then I'm going to do the next 4 or 5 in the actual chain so you can see the difference. So I'm on this side, I'm coming over and I'm doing single crochets and I'm chaining 4 in between. And remember, you can use a smaller hook if you want a smaller size. You can use less or more chains in between. I'm going into the space and doing a single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming over to the next one, and if you skip one, you're going to have to go back and pick it up because you got to have it even when you get to the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go over to the next space. Chain. These are chain 8 spaces. Okay. Do a couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over to the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is a lot easier to do it this way. The other way I'm getting ready to show you is a little more tedious. but it makes it look nicer, lay nicer. All right, now I want you to look at that. All right, I want you to look at that. Now look what I'm going to do next. I'm going to chain 4. And in this chain 8 space, I'm going to go into the middle chain, and I'm going to actually go into the middle of it, the 4th one, and it's a little bit more time consuming, and do a single. Actually, I'm going to do a slip stitch. So you can tell me which one you like the best. Chain 4. This is to give you a choice. I have to go over to my next chain 8 space, and I want to go into that middle one. In doing so, my thread needs to be behind me. Go into that middle one. And it's a little tight because this was a smaller hook I used for these chains. Pull it through and pull it through. That's a slip stitch. Chain 4. Come over, find my next space, and go right into the stitch. And it anchors it better this way also. I'll show you why. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually like this way, but in making this one I was in a little rush, so I just did the whole space. But normally I would prefer in any diamond shape to, let's see, that's crooked. In any diamond shape I would prefer to anchor it, then go into the space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more, and see if you can tell the difference. All right, now let's lay it down. Now let's see if you can tell, but this lays down. The definition is really there when you anchor it in 2. When you don't anchor it, such as this, these move. You can move these up and down the chain stitch. They move because you just went around the chain stitch. So that's going to be your choice. This way is faster here, and this way is a little bit more thicker, bumpier looking. This one is more anchored and more definition. This is the one I like the best. But I have to take that out and do it the same way as I did the other ones, because that little subtle change, you can tell, you can pick it up. Somebody else might not be able to pick it up, but you would be able to pick it up. So what I need you to do is to do that all the way down to the end. And when you get to the last one, last 2, you're going to do the same thing that you did on the first one. When you get all the way down to the end, right here, you're going to do in the second one with a slip, with the single, chain 4, go over here and get this one, and this is going to be before the 10. This is the 10 here. So right there in that second one, you're going to put a single crochet, and then you're going to tie it off and cut. And then you'll go ahead and you'll do all the rest. Now, you can do 4 for top length. You can do 5 for a little thigh length. And you can do to the knee, I've done 6. And if I wanted to go to my calf, I would probably do 7 or 8. And you can do floor length. But this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And then when I come back, we're going to work on across the top to close it off, and then down the side up under the arm. All right. So go ahead and do all of your strips, and I'll come back so we can finish this out. All right. The one before this had to be in silence because it was too muffled. I'm using my cell phone. My batteries died. And what I was just basically trying to tell you was that I started from the neckline right here, and I chained 5 and looped that down, came back with the chain 5. And I came over and grabbed the front or the back panel and connected those together by 5, and then I cut it. All right? So now we're at the part of the armhole. We need to make the armhole. So you need to fold it, get it neat, nice. I'm measuring 9.5, what I did my other one. So I'm measuring 9.5 from my top down. And that's right here at the bottom base of that motif. So that's what I'm going to go into right there, that 10 loops, 10 loops over there. So, and all we're going to do is, because this is a side seam and I don't want the holes really, really big, I'm going to only chain 3 and do that all the way down to the end. And then you're going to be finished. All right? So I said I'm going to start right here in the middle. I'm not going around the hole. I'm going into the stitch on mine because I want to lock in my side seams. I don't want them running all over the place. So how I get rid of my tail is I just chain it up. So I'm going to chain 3, all crissing cross all the way down. All right? 1, 2, 3. Go over here and get this side. Go somewhere here in the middle with a single crochet. Get rid of that tail. And then I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to come back on this side into the middle, stitch middle chain with a single. Chain 3, go to the back panel, into the middle. Then I'm going to chain 3. If that's too hard for you, you can come over and just go around the whole chain like we've been doing and do it. I just want it more anchored because it's my side seam. So I'm actually going into the chain with my stitch. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going over to the other side. Same thing. So I'm going to do this all the way down. All right. And if you're a bigger woman and you want more stitches in the side here, you can do chain 5. You know, I was just trying to keep mine from being too holy on my sides. And I'll be wearing this over top of a dress. And I'm going to try again to see if I can add a picture at the end of the video of how I looked in it. So this one is personally being made for me for an event I have to go to. Alright, so that's all you're going to do all the way down. I hope this has been helpful. There's my armhole. Go back and clean up all my little tails that I've weaved all the way through, so I basically just need to go back, cut them, and they're weaved in enough. They're not going to show. And if I ever get to that point where I don't like them, I just put a little tap of a little glue on my ends. This is the inside. I'm going to turn it inside out when it's done. But that's your side seam going down. There's one. There you go. There's my side seam going down. I got a lot of little tails that I've weaved in as I was going along. Alright, so I'm going to do that all the way down. And then when I'm done, I'll block it, spray it, wet it down, lay it out. So make sure my seams aren't too tight here on the side. If I want these like this, I'll wet it and then lay it down. You can look up information on blocking. Alright, so that's the whole top. And remember that your V goes in the front. Remember your V goes in the front. And on the bottom are your waves. There you go. You have a wave right in the middle.
There you go. I may even add on to mine if mine is not long enough. Not sure. We'll see. But I don't want to make this tutorial any longer than it is. Hope I was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, and thumbs up. Be blessed because you are blessed by the best.